Examination-based conduct session. The subject is Learner Support, School Readiness, Diversity and Multi-Grade Teaching. The course is the DJP Lssdm11, first year, semester 1. Dear students, welcome to the presentation of 2020 examination for the whole year. So it means that there is only one presentation, dear students, for the whole year. This presentation is for May, August, and November. I am Ms. Matilda Keishihepo, the tutor for DJP Lssdm11. This will guide you in your preparation for the examination for this subject. It is important to point out the most important preparation that you have to do is as follows. First, work through your study guide with care and diligence. Do all the learning activities in the guide and then check the answers given at the end of the module. You have to make sure that you understand the learning activities that is given there. That will make you to understand the work better. If you have not understood the study guide and its content, you may have difficulty with the preparation for the examination. You have to understand the activities that is given in order for you to be successful in your exam. You must understand each unit in depth. Do not skip a unit, please. If you don't understand it, try to make a study group so that it will make things easier for you. The following is important information for your examination. Examination format. The duration time is 2 hours and it is out of 100 marks. The exam script consists out of 5 questions. As per your study guides, it is important that you answer all questions, but there will be optional questions where you need to choose. Here I mean that you have to read your questions very carefully. If there is, say for instance, question 1.1.1, 1.1.2, 1.1.3, and then there will be or. So which means that do not answer all the questions. So there is an optional questions where you have to choose. So in this case, if you write all the questions, I'll just mark the first one. You might, maybe your second question will, you score high marks there. So I'm not going to mark the second one. I'll only mark the first one. By that, you are going to lose some marks. So it's very important for you to read the information. The study materials that you have to use for this exam, it's only your Iol study guide for pre-primary diploma in education, year 1, semester 1, and the Kindle. Only those study materials is the one that you have to use for your examination. Understanding the questions. Every part of information can be assessed in a number of different ways. Questions such as explain. When you ask to explain is you must describe something and indicate the relationship between the things. 2 or 3 things that is asked. List. When you ask to list, you should present a list of facts in a certain order, the way it is in your study guide or in the Kindle. Define. When you ask to define, is you should give the precise meaning of something based on the concept. Discuss. When you ask to discuss, is you should give a clear description by pointing out positive and negative features. Distinguish. When you ask to distinguish between two sets, you have to point out clearly the differences between the two. Describe. Provide detailed features of an issue or stages of a process in a logical sequence. Criticize. You should give a reasoned judgment of something after carefully weighing facts, information, or perspectives. Examination cover page. Under student details, the following information must be filled in. It is very important. Your student number, your surname, first name, your ID number, and the examination center where you are writing. And make sure that you are writing the information at the correct space. Instructions. Read the general instructions and examination instructions carefully and ensure that you know what is expected before you start. So please do not just start writing when you get your question paper. Read the instructions carefully and understand them, because by instructions tell us what we're supposed to do. You are not permitted to take any form of notes into the examination room. Plan your time wisely and write as quickly, as neatly as you can. Here, you might even lose your marks, especially if you don't write neatly, because it will be very much difficult for me to read some of your work that you have written. So write quickly and neatly. Make sure that you watch the time to ensure that you finish on time. If time permits, read through your answers to correct possible mistakes if you still have enough time left. Very important, write your answer on the lines provided in the question paper. The quantity of lines given will also help you to determine the length of your answers. Also look at the marks allocated to each question to determine how many facts to write to obtain the correct marks. Here I mean that the lines that are given there, so there is enough space given for the marks that is given there at that question, at that specific question. Write neat and legible. This is repeating itself again. So neat in order to gain the correct marks. Now we go over to our study guide. We will start with Unit 1. Unit 1 is about the basic features of learning support. So here now in this unit, you must pay attention to those specific topics that I'm going to give you here. Know the concept and purposes of learning support. So what are the concept and the purpose of learning support? So you should know them. Read with understanding, please. Know the principles of learning support programs. So what are the principles of learning support programs? Why do we have the learning support programs at our schools? 1.3 is the difference between remedial teaching and learning support in a table format. So, when you are given to differentiate remedial teaching and learning support in a table format, is you have to draw a line. So at one side you write remedial teaching, and at the other side you write learning support, and then you write the differences. 1.4 is know. What you're supposed to know is when learners are entitled to learning support. So when are the learners entitled to learning support? 1.5. Know the responsibilities of the parents and class teachers in a learning support program. So in a learning support program, all the stakeholders, they have responsibilities. But then here, you should pay more attention to the parents' responsibilities, because as parents, they are part and parcel of our learning support program. So, and the class teacher also. So you should know those two. Know the differences between left brain and right brain thinking. What are the differences between left brain and right brain thinking? So you should know the differences. Know the features of the left brain dominant learner. The features of the left brain dominant learners. So what are the features? If you look at the learner, you will know that this child or this learner is a left brain dominant learner. So those are the features that I'm talking about. 1.8 is know the different concept of dominance. So the different concepts of dominance. So that is all about Unit 1. Then we go over to Unit 2. Unit 2 is about the need for and features of particular activities of learning. 2.1 is know how the home environment affects the need for learning support. The home environment affects the need for learning support. 2.2, the 8 criteria and abilities of Gardner's intelligence. Okay, here at 2.2, dear students, I just want you, when you read there is criteria and abilities. So there is a difference between the criteria and the abilities. So you should just read nicely, and then you'll see which ones are the criteria and which ones are the abilities. So know those 8 criteria and the abilities of Gardner's intelligence. 2.3 is know the main barriers to educational facilities for learners with disabilities. So what are those challenges that is hindering the educational facilities for learners with disabilities? 2.4, know how school curriculum and classroom teaching can create learning support needs, referring to the benefits of learners and the effects of the curriculum. So you should know that. Know the common learning disabilities. So what are the common learning disabilities? 2.6. The differences between left brain and right brain thinking. So here is you differentiate again. So what you should do is you draw a line, and then at one side you write left brain, and the other side you write right brain, and then you write the differences between the left and the right brain thinking. 2.7 is know the purpose of the curriculum. Why do we have curriculum, or why do we use a curriculum? So it has a purpose. So that is all what you should know in Unit 2. Then we go to Unit 3. Unit 3 is about the theory and activities of school readiness for pre-primary learners. Now in this unit, you should know the readiness skills and their examples. So we have readiness skills. So, and you should also give the examples. So therefore, with their examples. 3.2. Know the stages of spelling development. So when a child, when a learner start with the spelling, there are different stages that a child should, that you as a teacher should follow. So now what are those stages of spelling development? 3.3. Know the definition of school readiness. Here is you define what school readiness is. 3.4. Know the pre-literacy skills. So before a child starts to read, what are those skills? It is called the pre-literacy skills. 3.5. Know the activities that develop cross-motor skills. 3.6. Know the importance of English as a second language in school. So why do we have English as a second language in schools? 3.6. Signs of a learner with self-care skills problem. So here what I mean is you must know the signs of a learner that has self-care problems. So what are the signs? 3.7. Strategies on how to teach spacing. So you should know the strategies on how to teach spacing, because these learners are beginners and they don't even know how to do spacing. So now you as a teacher should know the different strategies on how to teach spacing. 3.8. Know the things that a beginning reader learns to do. There are things that they learn to do, so you should know those things. 3.9. Know how to use letter formation and home writing activities for beginning writers. 3.10. Know the school readiness checklist. So there is a readiness checklist, so you should know them. So what are they? So basically this is what you have to know in Unit 3. In Unit 4, the relevant theory and its application in order to address diversity in classroom. What should you know in this unit? or to pay attention to. You should know why some learners disrupt or misbehave in a classroom. So when you are in the classroom, you'll find out that some learners are disrupting or they misbehave in the classroom. So now you should know why. Why do they misbehave or why do they disrupt the classroom? Know 4.2 is know the 9 major types of adaptations for the lesson. So there are 9 major types of lesson adaptations, so you should know those types. 4.3, know the characteristics of intellectually gifted learners. So when you are in your classroom, when you teach, how will you point out the gifted learners, the intellectually gifted learners? So those are the characteristics that you should know. 4.4, know what non-verbal communication is and the examples. So the non-verbal communication and with their examples. 4.5, social factors of a learner outside the classroom. So what are the social factors of a learner outside the classroom? So you should know that. So what is hindering this learner outside the classroom? 4.6, know the causes of factors which contribute to a disruptive learners. What factors contribute to a disruptive learner? Why is this learner, specific learner or learners, disruptive? Why are they disruptive in the classroom? 4.7, know how junior primary learners can be supported with learning difficulties to learn better. So the junior primary learners, as we know, we are laying the foundation. So you treat them, you treat them like the other learners. So they are beginners. Now, how do you support them as a junior primary teacher? How do you support the junior primary learners to learn better? You should know the general strategies that may minimize the effect of a communication-related disabilities. So in this unit, those are the things that you should pay attention to in Unit 4. Then we go over to Unit 5. Unit 5 is about theoretical aspects and practical activities of multi-grade teaching. What are you expected to know in this unit? 5.1. You should know the challenges on how to overcome multi-grade classes. 5.2, distinguishing between multi-grade and mono-grade class. Most of the students used to call me just for me to give them the clarity about the multi-grade and the mono-grade because they don't understand. Multi-grade is when you put 2 grades together or 3 grades together. For example, grade 1, 2, and 3. that is only taught by one teacher. And mono-grade class is just grade 1 that is full, and you are only dealing with grade 1. So that is the mono-grade class. And multi-grade classes, mostly they are at remote areas. Now why do we mix those grades together? It's because the numbers of learners do not, they don't make up a whole class, because there is teacher-learner ratio. And then 5.3 is you should know the different ministerial documents used for a proper lesson preparation. So as a teacher, there are different documents that you're supposed to use for a proper lesson preparation. So you should, from the ministry, so you should know those documents. 5.4, know the concept of multi-grade teaching. What is the multi-grade teaching? The concept. 5.5, know the advantages for learners and teachers in multi-grade classes. So we have disadvantages and advantages, but here there is only advantages. So it means that the good part for multi-grade classes, for both the learners and the teacher, you should know it. But then in a question it might come that know the what are the advantages for learners in a multi-grade class, or what are the advantages for teachers in a multi-grade class. So when you are asked for learners, you should only ask the advantages for learners and not mix them with a teacher's one. And if you are asked for a teacher, just write the advantages for teachers and not for learners, please. So you have to make very, very sure here. 5.6, know what continuous assessment is. So what is continuous assessment? So in junior primary, we are using continuous assessment. So now what is continuous assessment? 5.7, know the importance of maintaining positive relations in a class. Why is it important to maintain positive relation in a classroom? 5.8, know how lesson structure assessment is used in the classroom. 5.9, know the records that a multi-grade teacher should keep in a classroom. You as a multi-grade teacher, having grade 1 and grade 2 together, so that is a multi-grade. What should you keep? Which record should you keep in a classroom? So that is very important. 5.10, know the 3 factors why there is a need for multi-grade teaching in Namibia. So there are 3 factors. So why is there a need for multi-grade teaching in Namibia? So those are the things that you should know in Unit 5. So and Unit 5 is our last unit. So this presentation is for the whole year 2020. Like I say in the beginning. So for me to conclude this presentation, you now ought to know what is expected from you. So after listening to this presentation, at least you will know what is expected from you, what you should know. So, and you must make sure you know what venue your exam will be in and what time it starts. So it is very important to know the venue where you are going to write your exam and the starting time. Consult the Iol offices for those details. So do not call me for your center where you are going to write, please, and what time to start. So consult the Iol offices for the venue and the time, and not the subject tutor. Do not contact me for me to give you this information. Should you need help from me, you are welcome to phone me on my mobile phone 081 273 9802, or mail me at matildashiebo@gmail.com so that I can help you in a well-constructed way. Say, for instance, maybe you send me an email and then you see that after an hour or 2 hours I did not respond to your email. Please send me a message on WhatsApp or just on SMS so that I can help you, or you can call me. The time for you that you're supposed to contact me should be from 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock. Should you have any problem after that time, I might help you also. So, but 8 o'clock, I'm watching news, dear students. I wish you all the best with your examination. Good luck.